What's up, everyone? We are diving back into the multiverse today for another epic. What if Naruto's secretly political marriage with Hinata, Part 3? If you enjoy this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more fanfics like this. Now, let's dive right into the fanfic. Preparation, a new power. Naruto and Hinata awakened as they do every day. The two ate breakfast and then headed out to the normal spot. They met up with Ino and the perverted older ninja, Jiraiya. Today was the first day the team had gotten together to train in almost a week. Naruto had completely recovered from his injuries. Alright, Naruto, because you're a moron and went off and got hurt, our team got put behind by several weeks. Kurenai and Guy's teams are already doing missions, Jiraiya told the team. Ah, shut up, Ero Sennin. Naruto said to his sensei. Well, Hinata, Ino, I'm proud to say I've got some new jutsus for the two of you today. Ino, I'm confident you'll define with fire jutsus. Hinata, I'm going to start you on a few earth-based jutsus. Also Hinata, I'd like you to see Shizune sometime this week. I believe you'd be better off learning to be a medical ninja. If you head down Tsunade and Shizune's road, you will be a lot more effective, especially with the dumb as is your boyfriend, he tends to get his butt kicked a lot, Jiraiya told the two girls. Alright, I can't wait to show everyone. Oh, and Jiraiya-sensei, my father has been teaching me a new technique from our clan, Ino told the older ninja. That's very good, Ino, Jiraiya said. Jiraiya-sensei, I have mastered 3 techniques from my clan as well, Hinata told her sensei. That's very good. I guess that means you all will be ready for missions soon. Now Naruto, I know you've mastered those last few jutsus I taught you. You're free to train on your own today. But actually first I wanted to ask you something with your teammates around, Jiraiya said walking over to the boy. What is it, Ero Sennin? Naruto asked. Have you told your teammates yet? About you know what? Jiraiya asked. Yeah, Ino-chan, Hinata-chan, Sakura-chan, Kiba, and Neji all know about the Kyuubi, Naruto told his sensei. I see, good to hear. Then this makes everything easier, Jiraiya started. You see, Tsunade and I felt it was necessary for Naruto to tell you, his teammates about his darkest secret. Before, when he first became a genin it wasn't a big deal. But things have changed. You see, Naruto is a wanted man, well sort of. A group called the Akatsuki is after Naruto. It's a group of at least 8 or 9 ninjas from what we know anyway. They're all missing Nin. The only 2 members we know of is a man named Kisame from the Hidden Mist, and the other man is Uchiha Itachi from Konoha, Jiraiya told the group. What? Uchiha Itachi? That's. Ino started. Yes, he's Sasuke's brother, Jiraiya interrupted. They want the Kyuubi. Now as far as we know, they don't know about what has happened recently and that the Kyuubi is now fully merged with Naruto. For all we know this won't matter to them. So we really don't know how they'll react, we don't even know when they'll act, period. For the time being, they're quiet. But I felt it necessary to warn you, his teammates, that the easiest missions might be life-threatening. If we have to leave the village, then you'll need to always be on guard. That's also the main reason why I became your sensei. Because Naruto is needed for missions and he'll be safest with me. So that is why I've taken on a team. Also missions are going to change for you from now on. No longer will you receive D rank missions. The lowest mission you'll be receiving is C rank. But you'll mainly be doing B rank, possibly even A rank missions. That's how bad the village is currently hurting. But don't worry, you won't be sent out if you're not prepared, that's why we're getting all this time to train. We will be going on missions as soon as I feel you are all ready. After Ino and Hinata have learned these new jutsus, that is when we'll probably proceed with the missions, Jiraiya finished telling the group. Naruto-kun, I see trouble really does follow you around, huh? Ino asked. I'm sorry, Ino-chan, Naruto said with a frown. No, that's not what I meant, Naruto. But don't you worry, Hinata-chan and I are your teammates, we'll stay by your side and fight with you no matter what, Ino told the boy. Thanks, Ino-chan, Naruto said with a smile. Alright Naruto, I want to confirm something, can you channel and release some chakra? If I'm correct, your new merger has changed your chakra as well, Jiraiya said to the boy. Sure, if you say so, Arrow Sennin, Naruto said, moving away from the group slightly. Naruto made the seal of the ram and began to focus his chakra. In a flash, bluish and red chakra began to surround Naruto coming from different directions. The chakra began to swirl and combine. A beautiful, bright purple color was formed from the two chakras. The chakra began to crack the ground underneath Naruto. Huh, I didn't really feel that different, Naruto answered. So that was just summoning up your normal chakra? Jiraiya asked. Yeah, so what? Naruto answered. I see. I want you to stand about 100 feet away and channel chakra like you would if you were to ask the Kyuubi for chakra, Jiraiya said. Sure, if you really want me to. Naruto ran away from the group until he was about 100 feet away. Okay, I'm going to start now. Naruto yelled. Just shut up and begin, idiot. Jiraiya yelled back. Naruto began to channel his chakra, and in a matter of seconds the ground began to shake as a flare of chakra submerged Naruto, in a wave of bright purple, blue, and red chakra. The force of the shake rocked his teammates standing the full distance away. Naruto let out a roar, and his teeth and nails began to grow into fangs and claws. Jiraiya immediately ran over to him. Ino and Hinata followed. Hey Naruto, are you in control? Jiraiya yelled at the boy surrounded in his newly merged chakra. Arrow Sennin, I'm trying, Naruto yelled back. It's alright Naruto, it might be too much for you right now. Just relax and go slower. Jiraiya yelled at the boy, hoping he will stop channeling his chakra. Hang on. I can do this. Naruto yelled back. The chakra now began to slow itself. It wasn't as intense anymore, and now it began to slowly wrap around Naruto. As it did so, three tails formed and were swaying in the wind created by the chakra. After several minutes of holding it in this position, Naruto's fangs and claws retracted to normal size and Naruto dropped to his knees, breathing heavily. Jiraiya, Ino, and Hinata now ran to the boy to make sure he was alright. Naruto-kun, please, are you alright? Hinata asked with concern on her face. Why yeah, I'm fine Hinata-chan. I'm just tired. That took a lot out of me, Naruto replied. I'm impressed. Of course you're worn out. That was your first time channeling and controlling your fully merged chakra, and you even managed 3 tails. You did pretty damn good, boy. I'm proud of you. That'll be your exercise for now, learning to control that chakra. Don't do it with as much intensity. Channel it little by little until you've gotten used to it. When you do so, then add more chakra and so on. Eventually you should be able to channel almost, if not all, of your chakra. You'll become incredibly strong if you can learn to control it, Jiraiya told the boy. You got it, Arrow Sennin. I'll master it, and then I'll be one step closer to defeating the Akatsuki and becoming Hokage, Naruto said with a grin. The training for the team continued on. 1 month passed since Naruto got out of the hospital. Naruto hadn't learned to fully control his chakra, but he has gotten much better. Neji's team was doing quite well. They were beginning to do more and more A-rank missions. Lee's team was doing quite well also. Naruto's team was to the point Jiraiya has declared them mission ready. Hinata hadn't done too well in learning some of the jutsus Jiraiya had been teaching her, but her training with Shizune had gone really well. She seemed to have incredible talent in the medical ninja area. Ino had since mastered another technique from her clan. Also, Jiraiya was successfully able to teach Ino a few jutsus as well. The team was holding their final training before Jiraiya turned in his team report. Alright, you guys have done quite well. I wanted to let you guys know that starting tomorrow you'll be doing missions like the rest of your fellow genin. I know it took you guys a while, but the training has paid off. You're all very strong. I feel quite proud. Hinata, Shizune is quite pleased with you. Ino, you've improved a lot by adding those new jutsus to your arsenal. Naruto, your control isn't perfect, but it's gotten quite better. Also, I wanted to give you some news. It concerns Uchiha Sasuke. What happened with him? Naruto asked. Well, Sasuke was released from the hospital finally. He was immediately brought before the council in Tsunade. After many debates, Sasuke has been suspended for 6 months. He'll be allowed to rejoin as a genin just in time for the next Chunin exam. He will, however, have to miss this upcoming Chunin exam since there won't be a team ready for him. Also, He will not be allowed to leave the village, and 2 Anbu will be assigned to guard his home day and night at all times within the time period. This all can change though. If after 6 months Tsunade doesn't feel he's ready, he'll stay on suspension for the rest of the year. Also, he isn't allowed to train for the next 6 months. The only training he can do is whatever he can do inside his home. He isn't allowed to use any training areas. He is however allowed visitors. Well, that's about it. He got off pretty lucky for someone who betrayed his village. Naruto's defense of him and the fact that he's an Uchiha is all that probably saved him from death, Jiraiya told the group. Well anyway, you guys go on ahead, rest up and enjoy yourselves. We'll meet up at the Hokage's place in the morning to get your first mission. Pack all the necessary ninja equipment, etc. Well, see you guys later, Jiraiya said, walking off. Wow, I can't wait. It's finally mission time again. Naruto yelled in excitement. Naruto-kun, you're not nervous at all? Hinata asked. Nope. I got Arrow Sennin, my newfound powers and 2 strong and awesome teammates tagging along. It'll be fine, Naruto said, causing his 2 teammates to blush. Well, I'm going to go on home and relax and prepare for tomorrow. See you later, Hinata-chan, Naruto-kun, Ino said, running off. Alright, Hinata-chan, let's get some ramen and then go home, Naruto said with a smile as he took his girlfriend by the hand and led her off. The morning came quickly. As usual, Naruto awoke with so much energy he didn't know what to do with it all. Hinata awoke calmly, quietly. The two made their way to the Hokage's palace. When they arrived, Ino and Jiraiya were already waiting for them. The 4 headed inside to receive their very first mission as a team. Tsunade greeted the team. Alright, so you guys are finally ready for a mission, huh? Tsunade asked the group. Ino and Hinata nodded a yes. Oh yeah, mission time. Tsunade-ne-chan. Give us a really good one. Naruto yelled. Calm down, Naruto. I've got a good mission for you. It's a B rank mission. You are to travel to the Wave Country. They've requested assistance. A caravan of supplies are going to be sent to them. The officials of the Fire Country have agreed to help the Wave Country, which is finally trying to get back on track. The problem is, a group of missing nin has invaded the country in hopes of starting their own hidden village, and they're using force, and so you've got 2 purposes: to provide protection to the caravan, deliver the supplies, and to boot out the invaded ninjas. You're to cross over the bridge leading into the Wave Country, and then you'll meet up with a Wave representative who will fill you in from there. Alright, be careful on this mission, Tsunade told the group. Alright, back to the Wave Country, this rules. Naruto said, extremely happy. Naruto, you've been to the Wave Country before? Tsunade asked the boy. Yeah, Sasuke, Sakura-chan, Kakashi-sensei, and I helped protect an old man as he built that bridge. It was a C rank mission but ended up being an A- rank when we were attacked by a couple of missing nin hired by some evil dictator guy, Naruto told the older woman. I see, I had heard something about that from Kakashi. Well then be careful, you should know best than the type of trouble you may run into, Tsunade told the boy. Alright, let's go team, Jiraiya said, leading his team out of the building and off on the mission. Hey, Arrow Sennin, when do you think we'll see some action? Naruto asked his sensei. We shouldn't have to worry about anything until we reach the Wave Country, but never let down your guard, because you never know, Jiraiya told the boy as the team continued onward into the forest. Also, if we're attacked, I won't be jumping in, not unless your lives are in serious danger. What? So you're just going to sit back and watch? Naruto asked. Exactly, my job is to teach and watch over you. I'm not fighting your battles for you, Jiraiya said to his apprentice. Gee, ever the helpful pervert you are, Naruto sneered. Anyway, shut up and walk already, Jiraiya said as the group continued onward. The team traveled for several hours until and managed to make it to the city by the border in time for nightfall. Hey, Arrow Sennin, aren't we supposed to pick up some supplies or something for the Wave Country? Naruto asked his sensei. Yes, Naruto, we came here for a reason after all. We're to pick up a small cart of supplies and take it with us in the morning. It's already nightfall, no use traveling in the dark. So we'll camp here and head out in the morning, Jiraiya told the boy. Oh, alright, sounds good. Does that mean I can go get some ramen now? Naruto asked. Sigh. Yeah, go ahead after we check into the inn, you can all do what you want, just make sure you get some sleep and are ready to go early tomorrow, Jiraiya told the group as they headed toward an inn. As the group checked into the inn, the genin part with their sensei in favor of taking a walk around the town, as their sensei was off to gather materials as he always did. Naruto-kun, Hinata-chan, what do you want to do? Ino asked her two teammates. Well, first I got to get some ramen, Naruto answered the girl. Naruto, how do you even know this place has ramen? Ino asked, stumping Naruto. Who wouldn't have ramen? Ramen is the greatest food in the entire world, Naruto shot back. Sigh. A one-track mind, I don't know how you put up with it sometimes, Hinata-chan, Ino said to her fellow female companion. Ino-chan, just think, it's easier to please Naruto-kun because you always know what he wants to eat, Hinata said with a slight smile. Ah, you have a point there. It makes the simpleton even simpler, Ino said. I'm not simple, Naruto yelled. Right, you go on telling yourself that, maybe someone will believe you, Ino laughed. The genin explored the town and then headed back to the inn. The next day arrived quickly as the genin headed toward the bridge that crossed into the wave country. There they met up with Jiraiya, who was sitting on top of a two-horse carriage. Hey Arrow Sennin, what are you doing? Naruto asked, looking puzzled. Sigh. Naruto, this is what we have to deliver to the representative of the wave country. The supplies are in the back, Jiraiya told the boy. Oh, okay. Well, let's go, Naruto said, hopping up beside his sensei as Hinata and Ino got into the back of the carriage. Hey, I'd think you'd want to spend time with your girlfriend, so what are you doing up here with me? Jiraiya asked the boy. Well, I want to keep my mind focused on the mission, Naruto said with a grin. Ah, I see, Jiraiya said as the carriage started to move. The carriage traveled for several hours and Jiraiya noticed Naruto had been very quiet and deep in thought. Hey, you're awfully quiet. Just thinking about the last time I was here, Naruto told his sensei as he looked out into the vast ocean before him. Ah, that's right, I had heard. This was where you had your first real battle with enemy ninjas, am I right? Jiraiya asked the boy. Yeah, the hidden mist ninja who became a missing nin, Momochi Zabuza, and a boy maybe only a few years older than me, his name was Haku, he had a blood limit. They had their own goals and desires. But I don't believe they were truly enemies. But I guess they were since they were fighting on the wrong side, Naruto explained. You sound sad about winning the fight, Jiraiya said. I didn't win the fight. Haku almost killed Sasuke. That was the first time the Kyuubi's chakra poured from me. In the end, he asked me to kill him because he couldn't complete his goal. I found out for the first time that there were people out there in this world that truly had completely opposite goals or ideals than I did. He lived only to be a useful tool to Zabuza. When I beat him up, he felt he couldn't live on. In the end, he died saving Zabuza, who also died in the end. I don't know, sometimes I wonder if the life of a shinobi is a joke, Naruto sadly stated to his sensei. I see, so Naruto is capable of having these types of thought, Jiraiya thought to himself. Naruto, the way of the shinobi is indeed different for many people. Some live to be accepted, like you do. But then some truly live just for another person's sake. If you had continued to live without having anyone accept you, then you could have ended up like Gaara. Or you could have found someone that accepted you, but if that person was the only one, wouldn't you find yourself living for just that one person's sake? Jiraiya asked. I don't know, Naruto quietly answered. Naruto, being a shinobi isn't easy. It isn't for everyone either. I was like you when I was younger. They told me I had no talent. In fact, that was true. I didn't have any talent. You're different than I am, you've got talent despite what others say. You're honest, and you always give it everything you've got. That's what I liked about you. It's funny, you're totally opposite than him, and yet you're totally just like him, Jiraiya said, sparking Naruto's attention. Who are you talking about? Naruto asked. The fourth Hokage, of course, Jiraiya said. The fourth. Arrow Sennin. What was the fourth like? Naruto asked. The fourth, he was a very talented ninja. He had the highest marks in class, had the most skill, but he was so average. He never stood out. What made him stand out at all was his knowledge and skill. He wasn't quiet, yet he wasn't loud. But he was extremely honest. He loved Konoha, and even though he didn't fight for the village's acceptance, he never gave up at anything he did. The third was called the genius or the professor. They say he's the greatest of all the Hokage. But I feel differently about that. The third was great, but I think if the fourth would have been Hokage for a good 10 or 15 years, he'd have surpassed the third. He was that great. Even in the end, he never quit at anything. When he went up against the Kyuubi and realized what needed to be done, he did it no questions asked. Because even though he never quit at anything he did, he'd sacrifice himself for another in an instant. Because that's the person he was. Naruto, let me give you an example of how great he was. You see, as you know, Sarutobi, or the third Hokage, our sensei, the Sannin that is. The legendary 3, he was our sensei. Now Orochimaru and I had a similar relationship that you and Sasuke had. Sarutobi sensei thought the world of Orochimaru. He was his prized student. Much like how you felt Kakashi was to Sasuke. Well then, wouldn't you think Orochimaru was the next in line to be the fourth Hokage? Jiraiya said, looking at Naruto, who merely nodded. Well, the fourth's talents were enough to even change the great third's mind. Yeah, I'd say the power to change people was something the fourth possessed as well, Jiraiya finished. I see, Naruto quietly said, still pondering what Jiraiya had said. Naruto, remember to hold those who are most precious to you very close, but not forget that if you become Hokage, that everyone becomes a precious person to you, Jiraiya told the boy. I'm aware of that. Sometimes, that thought makes me question as to if I really want to become Hokage or not, Naruto said, surprising Jiraiya. Really? I had no idea you ever had a thought against being Hokage. May I ask why? Jiraiya wondered. I've finally found very important people. People who I'll never let go of, or let get hurt even if it costs me my life. But, can I do that for the whole village? The very village that I doubt will ever fully accept me. Even though the demon is gone, I'm still going to always be seen as that demon who tried to destroy the village, Naruto said with a somber voice. I don't believe that's true, Naruto. Don't let this get to your head, but you have the ability to become Hokage one day. In fact, you probably already know that Tsunade thinks of you as a little brother and the heir to the Hokage name. It's true that the hatred for the demon runs deep. But when you give it your all for the sake of others and help protect the village, you'll be rewarded in the end, Naruto. Just remember that, Jiraiya told the boy. The track across the bridge lasted several more hours. As they finally reached the end of the bridge, a light rain had started and a man, wearing a raincoat, greeted the carriage. Hey, welcome to the super awesome wave country, the man said. Hey, there is only one old man I know who say super a lot. Tazuna-san, what's up, old man? Naruto yelled, causing the older man to look up in shock as he noticed the familiar blonde-haired boy. Hey, it's the super brat from before. How have you been? The old man Tazuna greeted the group as the carriage came to a stop. Hey, old man, how has everything been? Naruto asked the old man. Well, other than this current situation, things are a lot better, Tazuna said as Hinata and Ino got of the carriage to properly greet the old man. Hey, I've seen things have changed for you as well. You dumped your old team and got a new one, huh? It even has 2 cute girls, no less. Good for you, Tazuna said with a slight grin. Oh yeah, this is Ero Sennin, Naruto said, pointing to Jiraiya. My name is Jiraiya, Jiraiya interrupted. This is Ino-chan, Naruto said, pointing to Ino. Hello, Yamanaka Ino, it's nice to meet you, Ino said, introducing herself. This is my sweet and wonderful Hinata-chan, Naruto said, pointing to Hinata, causing her to blush. Hello, my name is Hyuga Hinata, Hinata said with a bow. Oh, well, it's very good to meet you all. Let's get to my place and you can all relax. Naruto, I'm sure Inari will be happy to see you again, the old man said to the group, especially Naruto. The group arrived in the wave country and Naruto met up with a familiar face. But the mission had only just begun and the dangers were looming around the corner. Hello. Oh, Naruto-kun. Why, you're back. It's so good to see you, the woman said as gave the boy a hug. I see you're with a new group. What happened to your old team? Yeah, some things changed, so I got a new team, Naruto told the woman. Well, hello there. I'm the great Jiraiya-sama, Naruto's sensei. I must say you're a fine-looking young lady. How about we get a drink and I can tell you about all things of Todd Naruto here. Jiraiya started to flirt but was quickly met by Naruto's fist. Don't you dare start Arrow Sennin. Naruto yelled. Hello. I'm Hyuga Hinata. It's very nice to meet you, Hinata said as she introduced herself. I'm Yamanaka Ino. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Ino said as she too introduced herself as well. Well, it's nice to meet all of you. Please, you're welcome to feel right at home here, the woman told the group. Inari, come here quick. An old friend has returned. The woman called as a boy quickly ran down the stairs. What is it, mother? The little boy asked entering the room. What? Naruto ni-san. Inari said looking quite surprised to see the older blonde-headed boy. Hey, Inari, what's up? How you been? Naruto asked walking up to the boy and patted him on the back. You know, getting this place back together, got to stay strong after all, Inari said grinning at Naruto. Yeah, I can see. You've gotten even stronger since the last time I saw you, Naruto said as he smiled right back at the boy. Hey, why don't you guys take a seat and get comfortable? I'm sure you've got to be tired, Tazuna interrupted the two boys. Sure, thank you. We appreciate it greatly, Jiraiya said as everyone took a seat at the table. So Tazuna-san, I take it you're the Wave Country representative we were supposed to meet. Yes, that would be me. It seems I got quite famous after building the bridge, Tazuna said. Then you should have some information for us concerning the rest of our mission, Jiraiya said. Ah, well, there really isn't anything to tell. There hasn't been all that much information. Apparently the group that's invaded the country and ultimately is trying to take it over is mainly made of rogue ninjas. From what our agents scouted, they're mainly ninjas from mist, sand, sound, and rain, Tazuna informed the group. I see, the sand and sound ninjas are probably runaways from the attack on Konoha. Mist and rain are both known for having very skilled ninjas desert them because of mistreatment and various other problems. Jiraiya said, I'm sure Hidden Sand is having too many problems of their own to worry about runaways, and no doubt the runaways from Sound know better than to try and return in fear what Orochimaru would do to them for failing the big destroy Konoha plan. I see, it would seem your village has had troubles recently as well, Tazuna said. Yeah, we recently came under attack, a lot of good shinobi were killed and we lost our Hokage. But, a new Hokage is in charge now, and she's doing a fine job of stabilizing the village, Jiraiya said. So Naruto ni-san, Inari said getting Naruto's attention. What do you want? Naruto asked looking over at the grinning boy. So, I see you have two pretty girls with you know, come on bro, which one is your girlfriend? Inari asked with a very big grin. I see you've gotten strong and smart as also. Well naturally, both of these girls are my girlfriend, since I'm so awesome, Naruto said with a wide grin only to receive a punch from an angry Ino that sent him flying into the wall. Naruto no baka, you only wish I was your girlfriend. Ino yelled. Naruto-kun, I'm sorry, but you deserve that, Hinata thought to herself as Naruto pulled himself out of the wall and walked over to Hinata and put his arm around her. Actually, I was just kidding, Naruto said rubbing his cheek. Actually Hinata-chan here is my girlfriend, Naruto said giving her a kiss on the cheek that caused her to blush fiercely. Naruto-kun. Hinata stuttered in shock. I see Naruto ni-san very good choice. She doesn't look as violent, Inari said which caused Ino to glare angrily over at the boy. What was that little boy? Ino said in a threatening voice. I said my how lovely you are, Inari said quickly taking back his previous statement. I thought so, Ino said calming down. Hey Arrow Sennin, do you mind if I go out for a little while? Naruto asked his sensei. What? Where do you plan on going? Jiraiya asked looking rather curious. I want to visit some people I know. I haven't visited them in a while. I figured it was time I paid my respects, Naruto said in a rather somber voice. Oh, I see, Jiraiya replied. Sure, but don't be out too long, we don't know where these enemy ninja are, don't let yourself get caught up in an attack, Jiraiya said to the boy. Yes, I'll try and be back soon, Naruto said as he got up and headed toward the door. Naruto-kun. Aye. Hinata began to speak. Naruto turned to face her. May I go with you? I would like to spend time with you. Huh, oh sure Hinata-chan, let's go. Even though the place I'm going isn't ideal for a date, Naruto replied as he opened the door, then he extended his hand to Hinata who took hold of it. The two of them headed off. I see Naruto has grown up a little bit. I never imagined he'd have a girlfriend, Tazuna said. Ah, Naruto has been through an awful lot these last few months, Jiraiya said. Was it just me, or were Naruto-kun's eyes different? The older woman said. Ah, well Naruto's been through a few changes as well, sit down and allow me to speak to you on the matter. It seems Naruto trusts you, so I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell you Naruto's little secret, Jiraiya said. Naruto and Hinata made their way up a very tall hill as they headed for an open clearing. The cliff was steep, but had an incredible view of the town pointing out toward the ocean. The two arrived before two graves, both marked with crosses. One grave had withered flowers and half of a mask, and the other had a huge sword sticking out of the ground. Are these graves, Naruto-kun? Hinata nervously asked. Yeah, like I said, it's not an ideal place for a date. I'm sorry, Hinata-chan, Naruto somberly said to the girl. No, it's just that I was surprised, that's all, Hinata said. May I ask who is buried here? Are they friends of yours? More like enemies who taught me a valuable lesson, Naruto replied. They were enemies, Hinata asked. They were the guys trying to kill old man Tazuna, the ones I told you about. The big sword, it belonged to Zabuza. The mask was what Haku wore, Naruto told the girl. Oh, I see, Hinata said quietly. The two just stood there for several minutes. Naruto was deep in thought, remembering the encounters he had with the missing nin. Finally, Hinata broke the silence. Naruto-kun, are you alright? Hinata asked. Why yeah, I'm just fine Hinata-chan. I was just remembering them, in my own way. These memories are dear to me, Naruto said. Suddenly the two were interrupted by incoming shuriken, which Naruto easily deflected. What? Who's there? Naruto yelled as he and Hinata got in attack stances. As a tall man, wearing a black trench coat, wearing a mask similar to Haku's appeared before them. I don't need to identify myself to children. So this is where they ended up. The piece of trash and his little punk, Zabuza was an embarrassment to our village, the masked man said sparking anger in Naruto. How dare you say that? Naruto yelled, as he was about to attack. Ha, now no need to get angry kid, you've got more important things to worry about. The masked man said. What the hell do you mean? Naruto yelled. I got one word for you kid. Boom. The man yelled snapping his fingers as the entire cliffside area beneath Naruto and Hinata exploded. The two were caught totally by surprise as the ground collapsed underneath them. The graves completely obliterated by the explosion as the two began to fall down the cliff. Naruto quickly regained his senses and grabbed Hinata. He then noticed Zabuza's broken sword flying by his head. Naruto quickly grabbed the sword and stabbed it into the side on the cliff to stop the genin from falling. Naruto then used his momentum to fling himself and Hinata back up and landed on the ground before the masked man. Damn you, Naruto yelled. I'm impressed boy. With the trash taken care of I guess I might play with you after all, the masked man said, as he was suddenly shocked as a punch clobbered him in the face sending him flying several feet back. The man used his legs to come to a stop and was surprised as he saw Naruto surrounded by a heavy purplish aura. Is that chakra? I've never seen anything like that before, the man said as Naruto charges at an incredible speed, with his claws and fangs emerged as he took a swipe at the man. You disrespected their graves. You bastard, I'm going to rip you apart. Naruto yelled, landing another crushing blow as the force from the punch broke off part of the mask. The man regained his composure and then covered his face up with the hood on his trench coat. Naruto was about to attack again when suddenly another masked man appeared. Hey, you're getting your ass kicked by a kid, the new masked man yelled at his comrade. Shut up. The kid is tougher than I thought, the man replied. Well, no worries, let's see how he likes his girlfriend being attacked, the man said as he fired a kunai at Hinata. Naruto quickly turned his attention to Hinata. No problem, Hinata can handle a simple kunai attack, Naruto thought to himself when suddenly he got a really bad feeling. Wait, what's this? Why do I feel uneasy all of sudden? Unless, oh no, That kunai isn't what it seems, Naruto again thought to himself. Hinata-chan, look out. Naruto yelled as he raced back over to Hinata, who in the meantime fired a kunai back that collided with the oncoming kunai, and as Naruto thought, the kunai exploded, revealing at least another 20 kunai racing in at Hinata. Naruto quickly appeared in front of Hinata and pushed her out of the way as Naruto managed to dodge most of the kunai but was struck twice in the chest, 3 times in the gut, once in his right shoulder, and once in his left leg. Naruto winced at the pain but didn't drop. This is nothing, the wounds aren't even that deep, Naruto said, but suddenly his vision became blurry as he coughed up blood. What is this? Naruto thought to himself as he looked down at the ground to see several of the kunai he had dodged were dripping with poison. Hinata noticed this as well. Damn, poisoned kunai. Naruto dropped to the ground in an instant. Naruto-kun. Hinata yelled as she quickly checked on Naruto. See, that was quite easy. The new masked man said. Well, hurry and finish them, the other man said. That's fine by me. The masked man was about to fire in more kunai when they suddenly heard several people running in their direction. Naruto, Hinata, Ino yelled as she, along with Jiraiya, Tazuna, and Inari came running up to the two. Oh well, guess the girl is spared for now. The boy, however, has a lot of very lethal poison now running through his body. If he isn't already dead, he will be soon. With those words, the two men disappeared as Jiraiya and the group quickly raced over to Hinata and Naruto. Damn, Naruto, he's been poisoned. This is serious, we've got to hurry or he won't make it, Jiraiya said, scooping Naruto up, and then raced back to Tazuna's home, leaving Hinata sitting on the ground to cry. Ino stayed behind to comfort her, and Tazuna and Inari ran back with Jiraiya. He'll be alright for now. He might be merged with the Kyuubi now, but you don't take that much poison and not feel its effects. I don't care who you are. If it weren't for the Kyuubi, Naruto would be dead for sure. He'll need some rest, but he should be fine. In any case, you should look after him for now, Jiraiya told his team as he got up. Sensei, are you going somewhere? Ino asked. Yeah, I'm going to go look around and possibly get some information about the whereabouts of that group's base or something. Ino, you and Hinata need to take care of Naruto for now. I should be back soon, Jiraiya said, leaving the house. Sigh. Oh well, it's not like Naruto is going anywhere, Ino said aloud. She then noticed Hinata still sitting by Naruto's side. Hinata, Naruto will be alright. I know, but I can't help but be worried. What good are these medical skills of mine if I can't help? Hinata said. You patched Naruto up, you did all you could. Give it a few more years and you'll be one of the best medical specialists Konoha has, Ino said, comforting the girl. Thanks, Ino. I just need to stop being so weak. If I could show Naruto-kun how strong I've become, and then maybe he wouldn't need to do things like this. I don't want him to have to get hurt because of me, Hinata said, stroking the boy's hair. Don't worry, Hinata-chan, you'll get your time. We have improved a lot. Jiraiya-sensei has really helped us develop our skills, and it's only been a few months. So that says a lot, I think, Ino said to her teammate. Hinata merely nodded. Hey, I'm going to run into town and get some more ice for Naruto-ni-san's fever, Inari said, grabbing his coat and headed out the door. Be careful, Inari-san, Ino yelled. How is Naruto-kun? Tsunami asked the two girls. He's got a high fever because of the poison. But he'll be fine with some rest, Ino told the older woman. I'm glad to hear it, the woman replied. So Hinata-chan, what did you and Naruto-kun do when you were out? Ino asked, turning toward her teammate. We didn't do anything really. Naruto-kun went to visit two graves. They were the graves of two people he fought the first time he came out here. Apparently there were a lot of things that happened, because he held the two with great respect. He said he learned a lot from them, Hinata answered. Strange, you usually don't hold enemies in high regard, Ino replied. To Naruto-kun, they must not have been enemies really. That's all I know, Hinata said. An hour passed and Inari hadn't returned yet. All of a sudden, they heard something hit the door. Ino and Hinata quickly ran to the door and opened it. They found a kunai stuck in the door with a message tied to it. Upon reading the message, they were shocked to find out that Inari had been kidnapped. The message stated that they were to meet at the riverside if they wanted the boy back alive. Ino, what should we do? Should we wait for Jiraiya sensei to return? Or maybe we should go out there and find him? Hinata wondered. No, let's go Hinata, Ino firmly said. What? You don't mean by ourselves, do you? Hinata nervously asked. Yeah, I do. We're shinobi of Konoha. We're not cowards. We'll never know how much we've improved until we test ourselves, Ino said. But, we could be killed if we don't understand what we're up against, Hinata said, trying to talk sense into her teammate. Hinata, we won't know unless we find out, and besides, Inari-san is in danger. I'm not going to let him be killed. We'll just have to hope Jiraiya sensei will find something out and join us. Let's leave him a note and try not to tell Tsunami-san or Tazuna-san. They shouldn't have to worry about this, Ino said as she left a note for Jiraiya on the table. Hinata took one look at Naruto and made her decision. Alright, let's go. I'm going to make Naruto-kun proud, Hinata firmly decided as the two headed off out the door and toward the nearby river. The two arrived to find Inari tied to a tree. Standing next to the tree stood two men. They were both wearing black trench coats and masks. Hinata identified them as the same two that attacked Naruto and her. What do you two want? Ino asked. Well, we figured we'd eliminate intruders in our land. This country is ours. We'll form a new village and run this country, the taller of the two men answered. We're here to fight you, so let Inari-san go, Ino said. Sure. We don't need him anymore, the other masked man said, cutting the ropes and freeing Inari. Inari-san, run. Get out of here, Ino yelled. Okay. Inari replied as he took off back toward his home. Alright. These masks and trench coats are hard to move in, so I say we dump them, the masked man who freed Inari said to his partner. It's fine by me, the other masked man replied as the two took off their trench coats revealing dark green pants, and the two men were wearing Junin vests similar to Konoha's Junin. They removed their masks. The taller man revealed his scarlet hair and violet eyes. The shorter of the two removed his mask. He revealed teal-colored hair and dark green eyes. Now, identify yourselves if you don't mind, Ino said. She looked up at the two and noticed they were both wearing hidden mist forehead protectors. The forehead protectors had slashes through them to signify that they were missing nin. Very well, I don't mind since you'll be dead very shortly. My name is Sakuraba Negira, the shorter of the two men said, introducing himself. My name is Mamanari Raikou, the scarlet-haired ninja replied. Now we've introduced ourselves, shouldn't you do the same? I'm Yamanaka Ino, the beautiful and ultra-talented female ninja, Ino said boastfully. My name is Hyuga Hinata, Hinata nervously said. A Hyuga, the Hyuga bloodline is a much talked about subject in both Hidden Mist and Hidden Cloud. You should be proud, you're quite famous, the man named Negira said to the girl. I don't care about my blood limit, all I care about is paying you back for what you two did to Naruto-kun, Hinata said with anger in her voice. Alright, you go Hinata-chan, Ino said cheerfully. Let's do this. Who wants to get put down first? Ino said with confidence in her voice. Hey Raikou, stay out of this fight for now, I'll take them. No use both of us getting our hands dirty, Negira said to his teammate. Fine, just don't play for too long, Raikou said as he hopped back away from the action. Negira started it off by firing kunai at the two girls. The girls quickly fired kunai of their own, deflecting the attack. Ino charged in and attacked with taijutsu. Punches and kicks were all being dodged. The man Negira didn't even seem to be trying. Byakugan, Hinata said, activating her blood limit as she charged. Ino moved out of the way as Hinata tried several strikes with her gentle fist style. Negira, don't let the Hyuga hit you, she can close your tenketsu points. Raikou yelled. I already know that, Negira yelled back as he landed a spin kick that knocked Hinata back. Negira immediately performed several hand seals and then attacked. Suiten. Tepudama. Negira yelled as he fired several chakra-infused water balls at Hinata and Ino. I got this Hinata, move out of the way. Ino said, performing several hand seals of her own. This is one of the cool things Jiraiya-sensei taught me. Kaden. Hausenka no Jutsu. Ino yelled and she fired several fireballs at the water balls. The two attacks collided and cancelled each other out. Ino performed several more seals and attacked again. Kaden. Gukaku no Jutsu. Ino fired out the large fireball, but Negira had already countered with a jutsu of his own. Sweden. Sujinheki. Negira shouted, creating a wall of water and protecting himself from the flames. Damn, he knows that move. I guess I shouldn't be surprised he is from Mist Village, Ino cursed. Negira ran up and struck Ino with a punch to her face. Hinata received a heel to her chin that shot her upward and then received a kick to her gut that shot her back. It's time to end this. Negira pulled out a handful of kunai and fired them at the two girls. It's my turn, Ino, Hinata said, stepping in front of her teammate. Hakusho. Kaden. Hinata yelled as she began to spin as she expelled chakra from her body. The kunai were deflected and Hinata quickly stopped spinning and grabbed the kunai and fired them all back at Negira. Ino got up and performed several hand seals and then put her hands together, her thumbs, index, and middle fingers touching each other as she got Negira in her view. Negira, unaware of Ino's actions, quickly dodged the kunai, leaving him open to Ino's attack. Shintenshin number jutsu. Ino yelled as her body went limp all of a sudden and Negira was hit with something. He flinched and his head hung low for a minute before regaining his composure. Hey Negira, are you alright? Raikou called to his teammate. I'm just fine, Negira said, only with a female voice. Raikou immediately knew something was wrong as Negira blew him a kiss. Hang back for a minute, we'll take care of you next, Negira told his teammate. Raikou then knew for sure that it wasn't Negira. Hinata, do it now, Ino yelled while still in Negira's body, as she pointed her hands toward her own body. Release, Ino yelled as Negira's body flinched again and Ino's body began to move again. What just happened? Negira said in a confused voice. Negira, Raikou yelled. Negira looked up but was too late. Hinata was right on top of him. Hake. Rokuju Yansho. Hinata yelled as she struck 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, then 32, and then finally hitting all 64 of Negira's Tenketsu points. The missing nin was rocked back as he coughed up blood. Hinata then charged her hands with chakra and then struck Negira in the chest. The man coughed up even more blood and then went limp and dropped to the ground. Hinata immediately checked his vital signs. He's dead. Hey, you hear that? Your friend's gone and you're next. Ino yelled but was shocked to see the Raikou wasn't where he was a moment ago. The genin were shocked even more when he appeared before them. He landed a swift and hard kick to Hinata ribs that sent her flying back. He spun around and then kicked Ino into air, where he then performed several seals and performed an attack. Sweden. Tepudama. Raikou fired rapid water balls. One nailed Hinata in the chest, causing her to hit the ground hard. Another water ball hit Ino and knocked her into the river. Raikou jumped down by the riverside and picked Ino up by her arm and landed a punch to her face and then let her drop in the water again. Ino, Hinata whispered as she tried to catch her breath. Hinata performed several hand seals and her right hand started to glow a greenish color as she placed her hand on her chest. Hang on, Ino, I'll be there shortly. Take this, you little bitch. An angry Raikou yelled as he performed several hand seals. Sweden. Deibakufu no Jutsu. Raikou unleashed a fierce maelstrom of water that blasted Ino hard, throwing her into the water. Here, take this as well. I hope you can handle the pressure. Raikou performed more seals and fired another jutsu. Sweden. Sushuaha. Raikou created a huge tidal wave. The water came crashing down on Ino. The screaming girl was being crushed under the weight of the water. Ino. Hinata managed to yell. No, it can't end like this. I didn't want to die before I could prove myself, Ino thought to herself as she awaited the end. Suddenly someone shouted in the distance, getting Raikou and Hinata's attention. Kuchiyos. Yutai Kuzushi no Jutsu. Suddenly a large toad appeared in the air and crashed down on top of the tidal wave. The rippling effect threw the helpless Ino into the air. A figure suddenly swooped by and caught the girl in his arms, and as he landed beside Hinata and placed the unconscious girl down beside the Hyuga girl. Hinata was shocked by the arrival of a certain blonde boy. Naruto-kun. Hinata said in shock. Hey, Hinata-chan, Ino-chan, you did awesome. But this bastard is mine. He's got some payback coming and I plan on dealing it out, Naruto said with anger filling his voice. Well, it's you. I thought we had killed you, Raikou said. No, I can't die, not against trash like you, Naruto said. The giant toad disappeared and Naruto immediately charged as he performed his old signature move. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto yelled, creating 6 clones. The Narutos charged in at great speed, surprising Raikou as one clone punched him in the face, and then the clones attacked from all sides. But Raikou quickly spun and landed a kick to the heads of 2 clones. He then came down with a punch to another clone. 3 clones disappeared in an instant. Raikou jumped into the air and performed another jutsu. Suiten. Sujinheki. The water barrier appeared as the remaining Narutos collided with it. All the clones disappeared and Naruto was thrown back. You're too weak. Raikou yelled. I'm not done with you yet, you bastard, Naruto yelled. Naruto charged again and struck the wall of water and was shot back. You see, if you focus enough chakra you can maintain this jutsu as long you want. It's perfect. Nobody can break through it. Raikou yelled as he started laughing. Wrong. Naruto yelled back. His body being surrounded by his fierce purple chakra, his claws and fangs grew and he charged again, his speed tripled. Raikou was shocked but was still confident in his defense as he maintained his water barrier. That's it. Keep trying, wear yourself out and prove how hopeless you really are. Raikou yelled as Naruto collided with the wall. Raikou was suddenly shocked as the force of Naruto's power pushed through and broke the water barrier. What? Is all Raikou could manage to say as he received a fierce punch that threw him through the other side of the water barrier and his back collided with a nearby tree. A fierce and angry Naruto charged in and he created 6 more clones with his Kage Bunshin. All the clones had fangs and claws as they all charged the staggering man. Now taste the revenge of those whose graves you defiled. Naruto yelled as the clones took turns ripping into Raikou with their claws, as blood started to spray everywhere. Raikou yelled in pain as the clones disappeared and Naruto clobbered Raikou with a punch. Raikou slowly staggered back to his feet and performed several more seals and attacked the oncoming Naruto. Suiten. Suiryuden no Jutsu. Raikou yelled as dragon made of pure water emerged and headed straight at Naruto. Naruto, however, formed a ball in his right hand. Its color had changed. It was purple on the outside. Inside the ball you could see the red and blue chakra swirling together. Rasengan. Naruto yelled as he extended his hand forward with the Rasengan. The force of the attack ripped right through the water dragon. What? Raikou yelled as Naruto emerged through the dragon, the Rasengan then striking Raikou's chest, pinning him against the tree. The force of the Rasengan pierced through Raikou's chest and destroyed the tree behind him. Blood exploded from the wound covering the area as Raikou dropped to the ground, drenching it. The man weakly looked up at the angry Naruto. Why? How are you this strong? I'm strong because I have important people to protect. That was something Haku taught me, the same person along with Zabuza who you disrespected. Now listen to me and takes these words with you into the afterlife. You're going to meet up with those two. The ones whose graves you guys destroyed. If you think the pain I just dealt you was great, just you wait until they get a hold of you. Remember this pain as you suffer and burn, you bastard. Naruto yelled as the man drew in his last breath and died. Naruto's claws and fangs slowly began to retract as he calmed down and made his way back over to Hinata and Ino. Naruto-kun, you did it, Hinata said to Naruto. Yeah, enough about that, how's Ino? Naruto asked. I'm fine, Ino said, regaining consciousness. Good, you guys are safe, Naruto said as he dropped to one knee. Naruto-kun, are you alright? Hinata asked. Yeah, the poison isn't completely gone from my system yet, Naruto said. What? You just kicked that guy's as in you were still poisoned? Ino asked, looking on in shock. Yeah, as soon as I regained consciousness I raced over here, Naruto told the 2 girls. Damn, you're amazing, Naruto, Ino said. Hey, you guys still alive? The genin were interrupted as Jiraiya arrived. Ero Sennin, Naruto yelled as the Sannin. We got to hurry. I think we took care of the leaders, we've got to find these guys' base and finish off the rest of them, Naruto said to his sensei, but quickly stopped in his tracks as Jiraiya tosses 15 head protectors on the ground before the genin. The head protectors were from Sand, Sound, Mist, and Rain Village. Well, that was very disappointing, Jiraiya said, looking at the very shocked genin. What? The genin said in unison. Ero Sennin, don't tell me you Naruto started but was interrupted. Yay. I went out looking for information, and followed some leads that lead me straight to their base. Those guys you just beat were indeed the leaders, because the guys I faced were only at the Chunin level at best. It was quite pathetic, Jiraiya said, startling the group. Well anyway, Naruto, Ino, Hinata, you guys did great. I'm very proud of you. Now let's get back to Tazuna's place so you guys can rest and then we'll wrap things up, get our payment and head back to Konoha tomorrow. How does that sound? That sounds pretty good to me, Naruto said, getting up and lifting Ino in his arms. Here, let me help you. Hinata-chan, you don't mind, right? Naruto asked his girlfriend. No, I don't mind. Ino needs to stay off her feet for a while anyway, Hinata replied. Thanks, Naruto-kun, Ino said as the team headed back to the old man's place. While Jiraiya was off visiting the head of the wave country, the team was resting. The next morning Naruto was fully healed and the team began down the road back to Konoha after saying goodbye to Inari, Tazuna, and Tsunami. Good morning, my youthful team of talent ninja. The tall thick-browed Junin said, greeting his less than eager team. Well, actually Lee was as eager as always, Tenten and Choji however, were not. Guy-sensei, I'm ready to push myself beyond my limits and rise to new heights in order to prove my way of the ninja, Lee excitingly told his sensei. Lee, I know you will do me proud. Now come, my beautiful team of youths, and let us go to our wonderful Hokage, so that we may experience the joys of completely a task for our precious Konoha, Guy said as the team headed toward the Hokage palace. Tenten, how do you deal with these two all the time? Choji asked. Huh, Tenten replied, pulling cotton balls out of her ears. Oh, you're a genius, Choji said. The scary part, I can still hear them pretty well. This just makes it a little more bearable, Tenten replied. I miss my old team. Ino was loud, but even she knew when to be quiet, and well, Shikamaru was always quiet, Choji told his teammate. We have arrived, Guy yelled to his team as they entered the room where Tsunade was sitting. Hokage-sama, we have come to get our ever-important mission to complete in the name of our beloved village of Konoha. Guy, shut up. You don't need to be so loud, you'll make your team go deaf, Tsunade said, tossing Guy a scroll. Your mission is to escort the man I'm about to bring in back to the Earth Country. It's a B-rank mission, for there is a threat that hidden cloud ninjas may attack. So be very cautious and most importantly try and keep your mouth shut. Alright, Hokage-sama, who is this man we'll be escorting back to the Earth County? Guy asked. You may come in now. Tsunade called to someone out in the hall. The man opened the door. He was wearing very formal clothing and dark blue robe, he had black hair, and black eyes. Are these the people you've assigned to me? Are you trying to get me killed, Hokage-sama? The man rudely stated to Tsunade. These four are very capable, very skilled ninja. I assure you I wouldn't have given them this mission if I didn't feel they could handle it, Tsunade explained. Very well, let's go, I wish to be home soon, the man said. Who is this rather rude man? Lee shouted. He is the brother of the Lord of the Earth Country, Tsunade replied. Oh, I mean, I'm very pleased to meet you. My name is Rock Lee, Lee said to the man. My name is Maida Guy, I am the Junin instructor in charge. This is my youthful team of fabulous ninjas, the weapon specialist Tenten and the heir to the Akamichi clan, Akamichi Choji, Guy said, introducing his team. Of course, the incredible Rock Lee has already introduced himself. So we may go whenever you desire. We vow to defend you with our lives, and shall never allow harm to come to you. Guy, shut up, Tsunade yelled. I'm sorry, Hokage-sama. We shall be off to the Earth Country immediately, Guy said as the team left. Sensei, how likely is an enemy attack on this mission? Tenten asked. I don't know. Why don't we let our guest here tell us? Guy said, turning toward the man. The Hidden Cloud and Hidden Stone villages have been at war recently. I'm one of Stone Village's biggest supporters. If they take me out, a lot of funds that go to the stone will be no more, the man replied. I see, so that is why they're after you. Well, have no fear, we shall protect you, Guy said. We'll travel by carriage. Tenten and Choji will ride inside the carriage with you. Lee and I will ride on top and guide the horses to our destination. Very well then, I put my care in your hands, please don't let me down. An entire village is counting on my return, the Lord said. Have no fear, Konoha's great and beautiful azure beast, the mighty rock Lee will protect you from harm, Lee boasted as the rest of the group with the exception to Guy walked in silence. The team picked up the horses and carriage and exited out of the north gate and began their journey toward the Earth Country. Excuse me, but do you mind if I asked you a question? Tenten said to the older man. Be my guest, the Lord replied. Why would you come all the way to Konoha? I mean, if people were after you, why not stay in your own country away from harm? Tenten asked. It's simple. I'm visiting some friends on business. I was discussing matters with the Lord of the Fire Country to request assistance. He sent me to Konoha. You see, Hidden Cloud from the Lightning Country has been hitting us rather hard. They've been trying to invade the Earth Country. Attempts on my brother's life as well as my own have been made. It's been very rough. We had no choice but to try and get help from Konoha, the older man told Tenten. The group continued toward the Earth Country for several hours when suddenly, the carriage exploded. Tenten and Choji got the man to safety as Lee and Guy prepared to face the attackers. Who dares to attack the great Guy and the awesome Lee? Guy yelled out as a swarm of about 10 Hidden Cloud ninjas attack firing kunai and shuriken. Tenten immediately fired several kunai in to deflect the attacks. Guy and Lee dodged several attacks and immediately charged in. Konoha Senpu. Lee yelled as he landed his signature move that clobbered one of the Cloud Ninja and fired him into another oncoming foe, knocking them both out. Guy attacked with a crushing right-hand punch that fired the ninja several feet away. As Guy and Lee were facing off with the first group of enemy ninjas, another 10 ninja attacked Choji and Tenten from behind. One of the foes landed a kick to Tenten's gut that threw her. Choji immediately caught her and sat her down before she could go flying. Tenten, are you alright? Choji asked. Yeah, I was careless and was caught off guard, that's all, Tenten replied. Alright, guard the Lord, I'll take care of these guys, Choji said with a confident smile. You're going to use it already? Tenten asked. I can't let Guy-sensei and Lee have all the fun now, can I? Plus I want to have something to tell my buddy Shikamaru when we get back to Konoha, Choji replied. Alright, but remember to take it easy, it uses a lot of chakra, Tenten said. I'll be fine, Choji responded. Choji immediately began performing hand seals and then bite his finger. Akamichi Keita. Kuchio's no jutsu. Choji screamed, slamming his hand on the ground, and suddenly a giant boar about the size of a rhino appeared with Choji standing on its back. Choji performed another set of hand seals. Akamichi Keita. Sumiyakaheki. Choji yelled, and with that the boar Choji was riding took off at an amazing speed. The enemy ninja had no time to realize what had happened, as literally with a blink of an eye, the boar with its tusks pointed outward speared 2 ninjas and threw them into 4 other foes. The remaining 8 ninjas began to retreat, but Choji hopped off the back of the boar as it disappeared in a puff of smoke. Choji charged with a speed that made Lee look slow as he drove a fist right through the gut of an enemy. Choji pulled his hand out and grabbed several kunai and fired them. The speeding kunai were too fast to dodge and 2 more enemies fell when the kunai pierced their skulls. Choji then sped in and delivered a spin kick to another enemy's ninja's head. The force of the kick blasted the foe's head right off his shoulders. The remaining 4 continued to run away. Suddenly, Tenten pulled out 2 scrolls and sat them on the ground as she performed several hand seals. The scrolls shot up into the air as Tenten jumped high in between the 2 scrolls. Soshoryu. Tenten fired weapons rapidly from the scrolls at the 4 retreating ninjas. The weapons pierced and stabbed the remaining men as they all dropped dead on the ground before Tenten landed. Meanwhile, Guy spun around one foe and grabbed the man and cracked his back. Lee landed another spin kick and then spun behind another foe and quickly snapped his neck. Several minutes later, Guy and Lee took care of the rest of the enemies and the battle quickly came to an end. The Lord stood in shock at the skill of the team that was hired to protect him as Lee and Guy made their way over to him. Tenten helped Choji to his feet, because he was completely spent of all his chakra from his speed burst attacks. Lee, Tenten, Choji, I am so proud of you and the skills you possess. I can see that your youthfulness is burning as always, Guy proudly said. Sensei, how many did you get? I got 5, Lee said. Lee, even though this is not a contest, I'd have defeated 5 foes. Meanwhile, it is a draw, Guy replied. Sensei. Not to disappoint you, but Choji won. He got 6, and I only got 4, Ten interrupted. Ah, Choji, you are indeed one of my precious students with skills that make me weep with joy, Guy said. Whatever, I'm still trying to get used to the amount of chakra I use. My old moves when I was still fat never used this much chakra, and the funny thing is, I didn't really perform any ninjutsu. My attacks are all taijutsu based now, Choji replied. Choji, you will learn that taijutsu is all you need to become great, Lee said, giving Choji his nice guy pose. Can we please just finish the mission? Tenten interrupted yet again. Why, you were all amazing, the Lord said, still shocked from the battle. I see now why Konoha is so strong, because of great ninjas like you. The team continued the mission on foot as they entered the Earth country, and after dropping off their client and getting their payment, the group began to head back toward Konoha. I can't wait to get back. I want to see Neji-kun as soon as possible, Tenten said with a blush. Neji-kun. I've never heard you call him Neji-kun before. Has something happened? Lee seriously asked. Neji-kun asked me to be his girlfriend. We had a double date with Naruto-kun and Hinata-san, and it was during the date he asked me out, and of course I accepted, Tenten replied. I see. Neji is truly my rival, he has even defeated me in the ways of love. I see Naruto-kun is also a great rival. But Rock Lee shall win in the end when I make Sakura-san finally fall for me, Lee said. Lee, I think she's with Sasuke-kun now. I know there's some strong feelings from both of them. I heard it from Ino, that Sasuke-kun told Sakura that he loved her, Tenten told Lee, causing him to hang his head down low. I lost to Sasuke-kun as well, Lee said, looking rather depressed. Guy walked over to Lee and patted him on the back. Lee, don't you worry, for I will never abandon you. Remember, never give up on love, because one day it will be yours and it will shine brighter than the sun. Guy boasted to his student with tears flowing down his face. Oh Guy-sensei, I promise to make you proud, Lee said with tears running down his face as well. Oh boy, here they go again, Tenten commented to Choji. Sigh. I miss Shikamaru and Ino, Choji sighed as the group continued toward Konoha. When he becomes Hokage, he'll help change the Hyuga. I wonder if that's really true, Neji said with a smile. I think it's already changing, at least for me. Hinata-sama is finally happy. She's gotten so much stronger, and I may never fully forgive the past, but I can accept it. Neji headed out toward the Hokage's palace. His teammates, Haruno Sakura and Inuzuka Kiba, quickly greeted him. Kurenai, their sensei, arrived moments later. Kurenai-sensei, have you heard anything about a new mission for us yet? Neji asked. No, I haven't, Neji. But that is why we are here, Kurenai replied as the four arrived before Tsunade. I see, so you've arrived. Today I have an extremely important mission. It'll be your toughest yet. It's an A-rank mission, Tsunade told the group, shocking them. What, an A-rank mission? Hokage-sama, are you sure we can handle such a mission? The pink-haired girl asked Tsunade. Well, after reviewing Kurenai's reports, I believe you'll define. It is, however, an assassination mission, which I'm sure you all know is a rare mission to give a group of genin, Tsunade said. Who is it? Neji calmly asked. Well, before I explain the details, let me bring in the others who will be coming with you on this mission, Tsunade said. You guys may enter now. Tsunade called to the people outside the room. As the door opened and two familiar faces appeared before the group. We're here, so let's go get this troublesome mission over with, the lazy Chunin stated as he entered the room. Alongside him was the blonde sand nin, Tamari. Yes, Tamari and Shikamaru will be joining you on this mission, Tsunade said. May I ask why? Neji asked. Well, you are to assassinate a man named Baki. He was from Hidden Sand Village. He was also in charge of Gaara's team, Tsunade said, shocking Neji, Kiba, Sakura, and Kurenai. After the attack on Konoha, he and a few rogue sand nin fled, and Hidden Sand has recently requested that this mission be done, and I agreed to further help our relationship with the sand. Also, the new Cage requested that at least one member of Gaara's team be allowed to go on the mission since they were once Baki's students. In doing this, Gaara Kankuro, and Temari will be allowed to become Konoha ninja for good, Tsunade told the group. Temari-san, is it really alright to do this? Sakura asked. It's fine with me. Gaara, Kankuro, and I would like nothing more than to be allowed to stay here for good. Gaara and Kankuro are out on a mission, so I was the only one available, Temari said. Hokage-sama, usually these types of missions are done only in teams of 3 or 4, so isn't 6 a little too much? Neji asked. Well, Baki is a high-level Junin of sand, and his few followers are at least Chunin level, so 4 Genin, 1 Junin, and 1 Chunin is fair in my opinion. A mission like this I'd usually send in small squad of Junin level ninja or Anbu, but you all know of Konoha's situation, so this will have to do. I did the best I could at making sure this team had the best chance of success. Kurenai is a Junin and a Genjutsu specialist. Sakura is rapidly becoming quite skilled in Genjutsu and she has been training with me recently, so her healing abilities aren't bad at all. Kiba and Akamaru are capable of dishing out the offense combined with their tracking abilities. Neji, your abilities will prove vital to this mission's success and the talents of both Temari and Shikamaru should greatly increase your success rate, Tsunade finished. Hokage-sama, do we know of the location of the target? Shikamaru asked. Yes, he was heading back to the Wind Country when he received the news that he was to be executed upon his arrival. He is located just outside of the Wind Country. Through Anbu scouts and Hidden Sands help we've mapped out where he is. I'll give the map to you Shikamaru, study and memorize it. I expect to see you all back here in one piece. You are to leave immediately, Tsunade said dismissing the team. The group headed outside to discuss their next steps. Alright, everyone go home and gather your equipment, we'll meet at the west gate in an hour, Kurenai told the team as they went their separate ways. 1 hour quickly passed as the team reunited at the gates of Konoha. Okay, is everyone prepared? Kurenai asked. Everyone nodded in agreement as the gates opened and the team headed off toward the Wind Country. About how far do we have to go? Kiba asked. Well, it looks to be about a day's worth of travel. It might be a day and a half, but that should be about it, Shikamaru told his teammate. So let's get going already, Kiba said as he patted Akamaru on the head and then lifted him up in his arms. Kiba, there is no sense in rushing things, since we're going to try and ambush the target anyway, Shikamaru told the dog ninja. So do you already have a plan for us? Temari asked. I believe Kurenai-sensei is in charge, so I haven't really thought about it much, Shikamaru replied. You're lying. I bet you've already got a plan just in case, Temari said with a smirk. I might. Who knows, Shikamaru said to the Sand Genin. Shikamaru, I might be a Junin but I'm not against hearing ideas, Kurenai told the Chunin. Well, in all honesty, I don't really have a plan yet. I'm waiting until we get closer and get a better grip on the situation before I formulate any kind of a plan, Shikamaru told the group. The group continued to walk in silence for several hours. Shikamaru broke the silence when he started up a conversation with Temari. Temari, I've been wondering about something since we left, Shikamaru said turning to the blonde girl. Oh, what were you wondering? Temari asked. Is it really alright for you to be killing your sensei and all? Shikamaru asked. The question caused Temari to go silent for a moment. I'm doing this for the sake of my family, Temari said. What? Shikamaru asked. I mean, Kankuro doesn't act like it, but I know he enjoys being in Konoha. I really love your country and your village. Where I'm from, peace like what Konoha has doesn't exist. But I'm also doing it for Gaara as well. He's so much happier now. Nobody sees it in his expressions, but I can tell. He talks to us a little more. It's strange, I know, but he really loves to ask how my day was. We can actually sit and talk for several minutes. It's all thanks to Konoha, and of course Naruto-kun, Temari told the Chunin. I see. Naruto and Gaara do seem to be getting close, Shikamaru said. Gaara talks to Naruto whenever he can. It's part of the reason Gaara goes to that ramen place every morning now. He goes in hopes of talking to Naruto-kun, Temari said with a smile. Sometimes, it's hard to believe that the Gaara now is really the same Gaara from before. Well, he has finally found someone to accept him and call him friend. Naruto, He's annoying at times, but he definitely grows on you, Shikamaru said with a smirk. Uzumaki Naruto, the boy who is capable of changing people and capable of changing fate, Neji interrupted. Yes, I believe as you do. He truly is something. I acknowledge him as my best friend. You might have a rival then, Neji, Tamari started. That is because to Gaara, Naruto is his best and only friend. That's not totally correct, Neji said. What do you mean? Tamari wondered. Any friend of Naruto's is a friend of mine, Neji said with a smile. I see, Tamari said. This is exactly why I wanted to do this mission. Gaara has found something special, and so have I. I see. Well then let's get this mission done soon, so you can officially join the ranks of Konoha, Kiba said. Hey Neji, can I ask you something? Sakura said to the Hyuga boy. What is it? Neji replied. How has Naruto been? I haven't seen him lately, and I know you've been hanging out with him a lot more, Sakura asked. Naruto is fine. Remember Hinata-sama is with him. He came back from his mission yesterday. He went to the Wave Country and said he had to fight, but that Hinata-sama and Ino-san ended up doing most of the fighting, Neji said. Hinata-chan, and Ino-chan, did most of the fighting. Is that really true? Sakura wondered. Apparently so. Naruto was injured and Hinata-sama and Ino-san had to step up in his place, Neji told the pink-haired girl. I see. So Ino is getting stronger too. It makes me wonder if I'm getting stronger at all, Sakura said with a frown. You are getting a lot stronger, Neji told the girl. You're mastering genjutsu quite fast, and you're study healing techniques at the same time, that makes you a very valuable member of this or any team. Don't doubt your strength, it'll make all the hard work Kurenai-sensei, and the Hokage-sama went through mean nothing. Yes, you're right, thanks Neji, Sakura said with a smile. The group traveled on into the night. They then decided to set up camp and start to prepare for tomorrow. Soon they would arrive and have to carry out the mission. The genin in the group were all beginning to feel rather nervous, but so was the junin and chunin in the group. Each team member will have a role to fulfill, and failure to complete that role could cause the team to be destroyed. For the group of young ninjas who combined have barely had any experience killing someone, tension was rather high as they tried and settled down for the night. Kiba, Shikamaru, and Neji each took turns guarding the group as the others slept, and as morning quickly arrived, the team headed off closer to the destination. The fighting would commence soon enough. The mission commences. Shikamaru and his team headed toward their target, an elite Junin from Hidden Sand Village, and his name was Baki. He used to be the sensei of Gaara's team. As the group arrived at their target's location silently, Shikamaru forged his plan. Kurenai-sensei, do you mind if explain my plan? Shikamaru asked the Junin in charge. Go ahead Shikamaru, Kurenai responded. Okay. Neji, first you'll use your Byakugan to check out the number enemies we'll have to encounter. Tamari, you'll draw them out with your attacks. Kiba, you and Akamaru will begin to take out any of Baki's followers. Kurenai-sensei will make contact with our target. Sakura, you should stay back and conserve your chakra for healing purposes, only attack if you have to. Neji, you'll cover Kiba. I'll cover the group and try and catch anyone in my jutsu. Once we eliminate the followers, we'll focus our attacks on Baki. Tamari, you should stay back and focus on ranged attacks. Kiba, your job will be the same, just strike as you can. Sakura, you'll take care of our injuries. Does everyone understand? Shikamaru asked the group. Everyone in the group nodded a yes. Neji, you may begin. Byakugan. Neji activated his blood limit ability and focused on the building. Shikamaru, there are a confirmed 12 men, including our target, Neji told the Chunin. Only 11 guys to beat up. That won't be very fun, Kiba said. Wait a moment, they are acting strange, Neji told the group. What do you mean? Shikamaru asked. But Neji didn't have time to reply, as everyone was temporarily stunned to see the building explode. What the hell happened? Kiba yelled, as suddenly a barrage of shuriken attacked the group. Neji quickly stepped forward and began to repel the attack. Kaden, Neji yelled as he deflected all the shuriken with his technique. Not bad, I never expected a Hyuga to be sent in the group, the man known as Baki said as he emerged from the smoke with his followers. Now attack. Baki yelled as the other ninja attacked the party. Kurenai immediately pulled out a kunai in each hand and charged through toward Baki, ignoring his men. The man drew two short swords from his belt and then collided with Kurenai. A loud clang could be heard as the metal from the weapons collided. Meanwhile, Shikamaru and the rest of the group got ready to attack. Shikyaku number jutsu. Kiba yelled as his claws and fangs grew. Kiba then charged with an attack. Suga. Kiba yelled as he spun through two opponents and clobbered another, sending the ninja flying to the ground. The two ninja who Kiba missed headed straight at Sakura, who immediately prepared a rather deadly attack for the two men. Sakura quickly jumped over them and simply touched both enemy ninjas' foreheads with her index and middle fingers together. Genjutsu. Insudento Shouten no Jutsu. Sakura yelled as she landed behind the two men. The enemy ninja immediately dropped to their knees and began screaming as they dropped to the ground. Sakura, what did you do? Shikamaru asked the pink-haired genin. That was a little trick Kurenai-sensei taught me. That technique made them picture their own horrific deaths causing a massive heart attack, and well, you know the rest, Sakura replied. Damn, that's harsh, Shikamaru said. Remind me to never piss her off, Shikamaru thought to himself. How about the two of you stop talking and focus on fighting? Tamari interrupted as she pulled her fan out and attacked three oncoming opponents. Daikamedachi number jutsu. Tamari yelled as she attacked with her fan, creating a whirlwind that soused up the enemies and slices them up to pieces. As the three bodies dropped, Neji charged at two opponents and delivered a forward thrust to one opponent's chest. At the same time, he used his left index and middle finger and landed a single strike to the other enemy's throat. The two men dropped to the ground. Kurenai and Baki continued exchanging attacks, their weapons clanging. Baki was temporarily surprised as Kiba came at him spinning, and his technique struck Baki in the chest, causing the Sand Junin to be pushed back. Kiba stopped his spin and was shocked to see his attack did nothing, as the vest Baki was wearing cracked and broke, revealing that it was made of metal. Baki then landed a quick kick to Kiba's gut, throwing him back, and then landing a spin kick to Kurenai's face, throwing her to the ground. The Leaf Junin quickly returned to her feet, but Baki showed great speed by spinning around behind her and slashing her back with one of his short swords. Baki then kicked her in the back hard, causing the Leaf Junin to fall to the ground hard. The Sand Junin then turned to face his remaining opponents as he witnessed the rest of his troops all fall to the ground. Impressive. They all fell without even touching you, Baki said. Tamari. Baki called to his former student as he turned to face her. You're good at using wind, but I'm even better, Baki stated as he used his two short swords and slashed the air, shocking the group as a strong force of wind completely engulfed Tamari and lifted her into the air. Sumujikas. Baki yelled as the wind began slicing Tamari, causing her to scream out in agony. Tamari. Shikamaru screamed as the wind let down and then threw the Sand Genin. Shikamaru quickly jumped into the air and caught her. So, you want some as well? Fine. Baki attacked by slashing the air once again, creating several blades of wind that slashed up Shikamaru's back, causing him to scream and cough up blood as he and Tamari crashed to the ground and didn't seem to be moving. At that moment, Kurenai tried to attack Baki from behind but met a back kick to the gut and then met the same fate as Tamari and Shikamaru, and she too was quickly dropped to the ground. Shikamaru, Tamari, Kurenai-sensei. Sakura yelled as she raced to her comrades. I don't think so. Baki attacked Sakura by firing kunai at the girl. Sakura, look out. Neji yelled as he moved between Sakura and the attack as about 5 kunai stabbed Neji deep in the back, causing him to cough up blood and drop to the ground. Neji. Sakura yelled in concern. Damn you. Kiba yelled. Let's go, Akamaru. Kiba said as he and Akamaru ate a soldier pill each. Jujin Bunshin. Kiba yelled as Akamaru transformed into Kiba. The two charged at their opponent. Gatsuga. Kiba yelled as he and Akamaru started their own whirlwinds and attacked Baki head-on. Attacking with a whirlwind? That won't work on me, Baki said with a smile. K's number Yeba. Baki yelled as blades of wind counter and attacked Akamaru and Kiba. The force of the attack threw the two back. Akamaru transformed back to his normal form and Kiba quickly caught the unconscious puppy as another blade of wind struck Kiba, sending him to the ground, cradling his friend as he also went unconscious. Kiba. Sakura yelled. No, I'm all alone. Shikamaru, Kurenai-sensei, Neji, Tamari, and Kiba were all defeated. Now it's your turn. Baki yelled as he charged at Sakura. Die. Baki yelled when suddenly, he stopped dead in his tracks. What is going on? I can't move. Simple. I got you with my Kajimane no Jutsu, an injured Shikamaru said as he stood up weakly and then tried to keep himself up. I thought I killed you, Baki said in shock. Sorry. I don't die that easily, Shikamaru said. Neji, do it, Shikamaru said as the injured Hyuga attacked. Hakusho. Rokuju Yansho. Neji yelled as he proceeded to strike all 64 Tenketsu points. Baki coughed up blood in his place, still unable to move due to Shikamaru's jutsu. And now, Shikamaru finishes this, Neji said weakly. Okay, I'll do that. Shikamaru replied. Kage Kyubi Shinbari no Jutsu. Shikamaru said as part of his shadow wrapped around Baki's neck. The land became quiet and all that could be heard was a scream and then the sound of a man's neck being snapped. Shikamaru dropped the jutsu and the body of Baki dropped to the ground. You guys did it. Sakura happily said, but her smile quickly disappeared as Neji coughed up a lot of blood and dropped back to the ground as blood began to flow freely from his kunai wounds. Shikamaru also dropped to the ground as Sakura was left the only healthy and conscious ninja. This is bad. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can heal everyone, Sakura said, dropping to her knees as tears began to form. Sakura, heal Kurenai-sensei, she's a Junin, she should be able to get us help the fastest. Then try and stop Neji's bleeding, that should be your top priorities, Shikamaru told the girl in his weakened state. Sakura wasted no time and rushed over to Kurenai and began healing her sensei. After several minutes, Kurenai began to regain conscious and then quickly realized the team's current situation. Damn, I was out for too long. Neji, Shikamaru, Tamari, and Kiba are all hurt pretty bad, Kurenai said, looking at her team of injured ninjas as Sakura was now working on helping Neji. Sakura, you've got to stop Neji's bleeding, he's losing a lot of blood. After you do that, get Shikamaru back on his feet. I'm going to head off and try and get us some help, Kurenai said as she took off as fast as she could for a way to get her team some help. Several hours of healing passed, the team was stabilized but only Shikamaru and Sakura were conscious. Kurenai was able to reach a nearby town where she was able to get some help and the group was then moved to a small village. From there, Kurenai was able to contact Konoha and get her team to a hospital. Kiba, Akamaru, Neji, and Tamari all lay in respective hospital beds unconscious. Kurenai and Shikamaru were both forced to stay because of their injuries as well. Now the team's friends would have to watch and wait in hope that their comrades would recover. Bonds of love and friendship. It has been very difficult for the hyperactive blonde shinobi. Naruto wasn't used to being quiet. But as he sat in the hospital room, he and Hinata watched over Neji, whose unconscious form was still recovering from his injuries. Hey Hinata-chan, is Neji going to be alright? Naruto asked the Hyuga. Tsunade Ne-chan said his injuries weren't too serious, but they were deep and he had lost a lot of blood. She said with some rest he'll be fine, Hinata answered. Neji-kun, are you alright? Tenten yelled as she raced into the room. Tenten-chan, there's no need to rush in here like that, Naruto told the girl. Hinata, how is Neji-kun? Tenten asked. I just found out about him getting back. Lee had heard from Sakura-san, and he said Neji-kun was hurt badly. Well, like I just told Naruto-kun, Neji-ni-san is hurt but he'll be alright with some rest, Hinata told the concerned weapon master. Tenten, Naruto, Hinata-sama, you're all here, Neji interrupted the three as he awoke. Oh Neji-kun, I'm sorry I must have woke you up, Tenten apologized to the man she loved. No, it's alright. I'm glad to see you guys are all here with me, Neji said. Of course we'd be here for you. We all really care about you, stupid, Naruto said with a smirk. I know, I'm just really glad, Neji replied. Neji-ni-san, Tsunade Ne-chan said for you to take it easy, Hinata told the Hyuga boy. Yeah, you'll be up soon enough anyway. I mean, you are the same guy who survived getting holes in your body from that weird spider guy. So these injuries are a piece of cake to you, right? Naruto said. I guess you're right, Neji replied. I'm really tired though, Neji-kun, then please rest. We'll be right here if you need anything, Tenten told the boy. Will you guys really be here when I awaken? Neji asked. Sure we will, if that's what you want, Naruto replied. Thank you. That would mean a lot to me, Neji said as he drifted back off to sleep. Tenten pulled up a chair next to Neji and held his hand. Naruto-kun, do you think Neji ni-san would be mad at me if I left for a few minutes? Hinata asked. I don't think so, besides he'll probably be out for a while. Where do you plan on going, Hinata-chan? Naruto asked. Well, Kurenai-sensei and Kiba-kun are both here. I'd like to go see them for a few minutes, Hinata replied to the blonde. Sure. When you go get back we can check up on Tamari-chan and Shikamaru, Naruto said. Okay. That sounds good, Naruto-kun, Hinata said as she headed toward the door. See you in a few minutes then, Hinata-chan, Naruto said with a smile as Hinata entered the hallway and headed toward the front desk. Now let's see, where is Kurenai-sensei's room at? I found Kiba-kun's room, Hinata said to herself out loud as she checked the hospital log. Hey Hinata, how are you? Sakura said coming from down the hallway as she approached the Hyuga girl. Hello there Sakura-san, I'm fine, and what about you? Hinata replied. I'm good, I just got done visiting Kurenai-sensei, and she's doing better. She'll probably be able to leave tomorrow, Sakura said. You just came from her room. I couldn't find it in the log. Where is it at if you don't mind me asking? Hinata asked the pink-haired girl. Go down the hall and make a right, and then a left. It's that first door on your left, Sakura replied. Great. Thank you very much Sakura-san, Hinata said to the girl. I'll see you later. Okay. See you later Hinata, Sakura said waving to the girl as Hinata headed down the hall following Sakura's directions. Hinata reached her destination and knocked on the door. Sensei, may I come in? Hinata asked. Yes, come on, Kurenai replied from behind the door. Hinata entered the room and closed the door behind her and made her way over to Kurenai. How are you Kurenai-sensei? Hinata asked. Oh, I'm fine Hinata. My injuries weren't that serious, Kurenai replied. That's good to hear. Sakura-san told me you might get out tomorrow. I'm visiting with Neji ni-san at the moment. Tsunade ne-chan said he'd need to stay here a few more days, Hinata told her former sensei. Tsunade ne-chan. Hinata, when did you start calling her that? Kurenai asked. Tsunade ne-chan told me to call her that. She said, since I was seeing Naruto-kun that I should start calling her Tsunade ne-chan to sort of help Naruto-kun out. He always called her Tsunade Obakan, and well she didn't like that very much, Hinata said with a smile. Oh, I see. Hinata, you seem so much happier these days, Kurenai said giving Hinata a small smile. I am a lot happier now. Naruto-kun and I are together. Jiraiya-sensei is teaching me a lot. I have so much more confidence in myself now, Hinata replied. That's great, I am so happy for you. I was always worried about you. You never believed in yourself, you always looked down upon yourself. Getting to see you like this makes me so happy, Kurenai told the girl. Kurenai-sensei, thank you for all you've done for me. I've never told you that before and I've been meaning to. You've protected and taken care of me like a sister or even as a mother. That meant so much to me. I can never thank you enough, Hinata said to the older ninja. Hinata, tell me something. What do you think was the reason you were able to change so much? Kurenai asked. Well, you always believed in me. Then even though it took me being thrown out of the Hyuga clan, I was able to be with Naruto-kun and even tell him how much I loved him. It's also Neji ni-san and Jiraiya-sensei's training. I've even been training under Shizune-san, and now Tsunade ne-chan is helping me train as well. So many people have helped me. I believe that is why I was able to change, Hinata told her former sensei. Well, although that might be correct as well, the first reason, and the main reason why you were able to change was you. Hinata, your desire to change is what led to all this, Kurenai told the young Hyuga. I'm just glad you're finally finding happiness. Just remember to take care of yourself, and don't be a stranger. You got it Kurenai-sensei, Hinata said with a smile. Well, I'm going to go visit Kiba-kun for a minute, and then I'm going to go back and check on Neji ni-san, Hinata said walking over to the door. Okay. Take care of yourself Hinata, Kurenai said. I will Kurenai-sensei, Hinata said, leaving the room and shutting the door behind her as she headed toward her former teammate's room. Hinata arrived and then entered the room to see her teammate resting, as his puppy Akamaru laid beside him. Upon her entering the room, Akamaru's ears perked up and the puppy quickly raised his head to greet the girl. Hinata walked over to the bed and patted Akamaru on the head. I see you're doing all right, Akamaru. That's good. But how is Kiba-kun? Hinata said aloud as she scratched the puppy behind his ears. Hey Hinata, what are you doing here? Kiba said, turning his head slightly to greet her. I was just checking up on you, Kiba-kun. I heard you got a pretty bad injury from protecting Akamaru. I'm glad to see Akamaru wasn't hurt too badly, Hinata said. Yeah, I didn't want to think about Akamaru being hurt badly ever again, so I did what I could, Kiba replied. Are you alright, Kiba-kun? Hinata asked the boy. Yeah, I'm fine. I exhausted my chakra and then took that hit, so I'm a little out of it. How are the others? Kiba asked. Kurenai-sensei is fine, she'll be allowed to leave probably tomorrow. I haven't visited Shikamaru-san or Tamari-san yet, but from what I heard, Shikamaru-san should be alright to leave by tomorrow as well. Tamari-san was hurt pretty badly though. Tamari-san and Neji-ni-san will be here for a little while longer. Sakura-san is completely fine though. She informed Naruto-kun and me almost right away. She also told everyone else what happened. She's also been making the rounds and checking on everyone from time to time, Hinata told the dog ninja. Oh, I see. Well, that's good, Kiba replied as he began to let out a big yawn. I see that you must still be tired. I'll leave you to get some more rest, Kiba-kun. I have to head back to Neji-ni-san's room anyway, Hinata said, heading toward the door. Thanks for visiting. Talk to you later, Hinata, Kiba said as he closed his eyes. Yes, talk to you later, Kiba-kun, Hinata said, leaving the room and heading back to Neji's room. I hope Tamari-san is alright. If Neji-ni-san is hurt this bad, I hate to think about what kind of shape she's in. I'm also worried about how Gaara-san is doing. With his sister being injured, I hope his emotions don't become unstable, Hinata thought to herself as she entered Neji's room. Welcome back, Hinata-chan, Naruto said with a smile. So how are Kiba and Kurenai-sensei? Naruto asked. Kurenai-sensei is fine and Kiba-kun will be alright. He was injured but not as badly as Neji-ni-san, so he'll probably be out in a couple of days, Hinata replied. Oh, that's good, Naruto said. Hey Tenten-chan, I'm going to take Hinata-chan and go visit Tamari-chan and Shikamaru. We'll be back soon, Naruto said as he headed toward the door where Hinata is standing. Okay. I doubt Neji-kun will be awake, but if he does, I'll tell him what's going on. I'm sure he'd understand, Tenten said. We'll be back in a while, Tenten-san, Hinata said as she and Naruto leave the room and head toward Temari's room. Naruto-kun, aren't you at all worried about Gaara-san's reaction to what happened to his sister? Hinata asked. Not really, I think Gaara will be fine. Anyway, I guess we'll see when we go in, Naruto said to the Hyuga girl as they entered the room. Upon entering, they were greeted by Gaara Wood was without his gourd. Naruto also saw another young man sitting beside Tamari. Naruto was confused because he wasn't sure who the person was. Naruto, I'm glad you came, Gaara told the boy. Yeah, Hinata-chan and I had to see how Tamari-chan was, but I got a question. Who's that guy sitting next to Tamari-chan? Naruto asked. You're a total moron, it's me, Kankuro, Kankuro replied, shocking Naruto, who hadn't ever seen the puppet user without his makeup. What? Makeup boy, is that you? Naruto yelled in shock. You dumbass. I don't wear my makeup all the time and stop calling me makeup boy. My name is Kankuro, the puppet ninja yelled back in anger. Kankuro, Naruto, will you please keep it down? Tamari is resting and this is a hospital, Gaara said to the two loud ninjas. Yes, Naruto-kun, you should know better, Hinata said to Naruto. You guys are right. Sorry about that, Naruto replied, rubbing the back of his head in embarrassment. Gaara-san, how is she? Hinata asked the red-haired boy. She was hurt badly. She sustained multiple deep cuts, and she lost a lot of blood, Gaara replied. She'll need to stay here for a while. I see. Neji-ni-san is the same. He was hurt pretty badly as well, Hinata said. I heard Shikamaru got hurt trying to save Tamari-chan, Naruto said. Yes, I've already expressed my gratitude to him for helping my sister, Gaara said. Oh, what did he say to that? Naruto asked. He didn't really say much. I think he was more worried that I had decided to enter his room, Gaara said. I don't think Shikamaru meant any harm by it though. He was probably just surprised. Shikamaru is a lazy bastard, but he's a good guy, Naruto told the sand user. Yes, I believe so. Gaara said. Naruto, I want to ask you something. Yeah, what's up, Gaara? Naruto wondered. When I found out Tamari had been seriously injured, I started feeling this pain in my chest. I was wondering what it was, Gaara asked. That's easy. You were worried about your sister. That pain in your chest is love. You love your sister, and when she got hurt, you felt the pain of not being able to protect her, Naruto said with a smile. This is love? Gaara asked with a very confused expression. Yeah, it's a type of love anyway. It's the type of love that you get when you care about someone else or when you're concerned about someone precious to you, Naruto told the confused boy. I'm not used to this feeling. I feel useless. I was unable to do anything, Gaara said. That's natural in this type of situation. But you're not useless. Being here by your sister's side is the best thing you could do. When she wakes up and sees you here, she'll know that you really care about her. That's part of what love is, Naruto told the boy. I see, then that is what I'll do. She got hurt for our sake. I can at least stay by her side, Gaara said. What do you mean she got hurt for your sake? Naruto asked. The new Cage had asked for at least one member of our team to go on that mission. The mission was to assassinate our former sensei. Gaara and I were out on a mission with the bug guy, Shino. He requested at least one of us to go, and if we did, he would discharge us from our obligation to the sand, Kankuro told Naruto and Hinata. What does this all mean really? Naruto asked, looking rather confused. I forgot that you're an idiot, so I'll put this into terms you can understand. For helping to complete the mission, Tamari, Gaara, and I are no longer sand ninjas. We can now become leaf ninjas and stay here permanently, Kankuro said. That's so cool, so you guys can stay here for now on. That's so awesome, Naruto said. So Tamari-san did the mission so that all three of you can stay here? Hinata asked. Yes, that is why it is our fault she got injured, Gaara said. Gee Gaara, it's not your fault. I chose to do this, Tamari told the boy. Hey Tamari, you shouldn't speak, just rest for now, Kankuro told his sister. I'm happy here. I know Kankuro is too. Gaara, you finally found a friend here. You're finally getting a chance to experience a different life. A better life. I couldn't let this chance slip away. In our home village, nobody understands you. In Konoha, even you can be happy. I want to see my baby brother smile. That's why I would gladly risk my life. Tamari told her brother. Kankuro, Gaara, Hinata, and even Naruto were silent for several minutes. You see Gaara. This is love, Naruto said, breaking the silence. I want to experience it. Love. That will be my new reason to exist. I exist to experience the emotion that is love, Gaara said. What? Gaara has totally changed. I hate to admit it, but that loudmouth brat is pretty amazing, Kankuro thought to himself. Naruto-kun, please tell Shika-kun I said thanks, Tamari said with a slight smile. Sure. We're going to go see him now anyway, Naruto said to the girl. You get your rest so you can get better. I'll get Tsunade-ne-chan to come and check on you later, Naruto said as he and Hinata left the room and headed toward the lazy Chunin's room. Thank you Naruto-kun, because you were able to change Gaara, you gave me something really special. You gave me my brother, Tamari thought to herself as she went back to sleep with her two brothers watching over her. Naruto-kun, you really are amazing, Hinata told the blonde. What do you mean Hinata-chan? Naruto asked. You're so incredible. You were able to help Sasuke-san, and me. You were able to change Neji-ni-san, and Gaara-san. You helped bring Konoha its fifth Hokage, and you helped defeat one of the village's biggest threats, Orochimaru, Hinata said. Yeah, I am truly awesome, Naruto said with a smile as they enter Shikamaru's room where they find Choji and Ino already there with the Chunin. Naruto-kun, Hinata-chan, nice to see you guys, Ino said, greeting her teammates. Hello Ino-chan, you must being feeling better since you're out of the hospital, Hinata said to her teammate. Yeah, I wasn't that injured, they just wanted to check up on me and be safe, Ino replied. How are you feeling Shikamaru? Naruto asked. I feel like crap, Shikamaru replied. That troublesome bastard Baki sliced my back up pretty good, and I broke some of my ribs on that stupid fan of Temari's. I caught her to try and keep her from falling, and of course when we both fell, we landed weird and her troublesome fan broke a few of my ribs. I'm never doing anything that troublesome again, Shikamaru said. That reminds me, Tamari-chan says thank you Shika-kun, Naruto said with a smirk. Shika-kun. That's cute, Shikamaru's got a girlfriend, Ino said playfully. Now wait, I'm not dating that crazy girl, and I keep telling her to stop calling me Shika-kun, Shikamaru said with a slight blush. But you're blushing, Shika-kun, Naruto said as he began to laugh. Shikamaru's just saying that because he's jealous. He's jealous because I got a girlfriend before he did, Choji said with a smile. Choji, you got a girlfriend? Who is it? Naruto asked. It's me, of course, you idiot. Ino said. What? Ino-chan is your girlfriend? Naruto yelled out in shock. Shut up. This is a hospital, you moron. Ino yelled back at her teammate. Will both of you guys shut up? This is my room, and I really don't want to hear this troublesome stuff about girlfriends and all, Shikamaru said. You know, if you like her you should just tell her, Shikamaru, Ino told the Chunin. I bet he's just scared of what Gaara would do if he made Tamari-chan cry, Naruto said, causing the Chunin to turn blue in the face. Get out, Shikamaru yelled as Choji, Ino, Hinata, and Naruto laugh. Several hours passed and visiting hours came to a close. Excuse me, visiting hours are over. Please come back tomorrow, a nurse said to the group waiting inside the room of Hyuga Neji. Sorry lady, but we aren't leaving, Naruto said. We promised we'd be here when he woke up and I never break my promised. That's my way of the ninja. But, the lady started but is quickly interrupted. No buts, if you don't like it, get Tsunade Ne-chan and tell her about it. I'll tell her the same thing, Naruto told the lady. Naruto, please stop being so loud in the hospital, Tsunade said approaching the boy. Tsunade Ne-chan, Hinata-chan, Tenten-chan, and I won't be leaving tonight. I promised Neji, Naruto said to the older woman. I see. It was a promise, was it? Tsunade asked with a smile. Yeah, and I'm not breaking my promise to him. You'd have to kill me first, Naruto said. Well, that won't be necessary. Just get a few extra chairs, pillows, and blankets just in case you need them, Tsunade said. Tsunade Ne-chan, Hinata said, getting the woman's attention. Hinata-chan, what is? Tsunade asked. I'd like to do some extra training with you sometime this week if you're available, Hinata said. That's fine, I'm actually glad you asked because I'm going to be training Sakura-chan a little this week as well. So I can just train you both at the same time, Tsunade said. Thank you Tsunade Ne-chan, Hinata said. No problem at all Hinata-chan, Tsunade replied. Hey Tsunade Ne-chan, could you stop by Tamari-chan's room? I told Tamari-chan and her brothers that I'd have you check in on her when I saw you, Naruto asked. Sure Naruto, I'll check up on her as I do my rounds, Tsunade replied with a smile. Naruto, Hinata, and Tenten stay the entire night in Neji's room. As morning comes, the Hyuga boy began to awaken as the sun shined down upon him. The boy awakened to see that the people closest to him were indeed by his side. He gazed upon them with a smile and a new day in Konoha began. Thanks for listening. In the next part. In the meantime, please leave a review, I would love to hear your feedback. Especially if it helps me improve the overall story.